Texas Penal Code disorderly conduct, or what was known under common law as breach of peace offenses, can be thought of as irritating behavior society has decided it won't tolerate and raised to a criminal level. Though seemingly minor, these crimes are still significant because they regulate activity by individuals in public places. First, the Penal Code states a person who uses abusive, indecent, profane, or vulgar language which incites a breach of peace has committed disorderly conduct, and it's a C misdemeanor. A person who makes an offensive gesture in a public place which incites breach of peace has also committed disorderly conduct. It's also a C misdemeanor. Next, disorderly conduct is committed when a person creates by chemical means a noxious or unreasonable odor in a public place. Setting off a stink bomb or something similar is a C misdemeanor. A person who makes unreasonable noises in a public place or near private residences commits disorderly conduct as well. The Penal Code states a noise is presumed to be unreasonable if it exceeds 85 decibels after the person making the noise receives notice from a magistrate or peace officer that the noise is a public nuisance and told to stop. Should you play your stereo too loud and fail to turn it down after being told to by a police officer, you'll be charged with a C misdemeanor. It's important to note another Penal Code statute, section 42.04, states if conduct that would otherwise be a crime under this unreasonable noise section of disorderly conduct consisted of speech or other communication in a protest situation in a nonviolent manner for social, political, economic, or religious reasons, and the actor or actors had not yet intentionally harmed the interest of others, the actor or actors must essentially be ordered to reduce the noise level below 85 decibels prior to arrest. So in other words, if you are legitimately and non-violently protesting a social or political issue and singing, yelling, or doing something like making sounds which are unreasonable according to this section of disorderly conduct and haven't yet caused any harm, a police officer has to tell you to stop, and you have to refuse to stop by words or actions before you can be arrested for this offense. Next, a person or persons who fights with another in a public place commits disorderly conduct. Note, there are exceptions for what are essentially schoolyard fights between juveniles during school hours. Should two grown adults fight with each other in public, they'll both be charged with a C misdemeanor. A person who abuses or threatens a person in a public place in an obviously offensive manner commits disorderly conduct. The Penal Code states, however, it is a defense to prosecution the actor had significant provocation for his abusive or threatening conduct. Like the offenses we've previously viewed, this one's a C misdemeanor as well. A person who discharges a firearm on or across a public road commits disorderly conduct. This is a C misdemeanor, but keep in mind, this offense is simply referring to the act of discharging the firearm on or across the public road. If you're a handgun license holder, a felon, you cause alarm or panic, or your bullet hits a person, vehicle, or house, you could easily qualify for many different felony charges, such as aggravated assault or deadly conduct, to name a few. The Penal Code does provide a defense to prosecution for discharging of a firearm in a public place or across a public road if there was reasonable fear of bodily injury due to a dangerous wild animal as defined by the Health and Safety Code. Next, a person who exposes his or her anus or genitals in a public place and is reckless about offending or alarming another person has committed disorderly conduct. This doesn't refer to indecent exposure. Remember, indecent exposure involves sexual gratification or desire. This portion of disorderly conduct can be thought of more as public urination, and it's a C misdemeanor. Next, a person who, for a lewd purpose, enters onto property of another and looks through a window or opening, or, while at a hotel, looks into a room through a window or opening, or finally, while at a public place, looks into a restroom or shower stall or dressing room, also commits disorderly conduct. This offense is similar to the Penal Code offense of voyeurism, which was passed by the 84th legislature. Just like voyeurism, these types of disorderly conduct acts are C misdemeanors. Not all disorderly conduct charges are C misdemeanors, however. A person who discharges a firearm in a public place or displays a firearm in a manner calculated to cause alarm commits disorderly conduct, but it will be punished as a B misdemeanor. A common example is a road rage incident where one motorist displays but does not point a handgun at another motorist. He or she displays a firearm in a manner calculated to cause alarm and has committed a B misdemeanor disorderly conduct. There's a lot in this disorderly conduct statute, so let's briefly review. C misdemeanor disorderly conduct, while in a public place, includes abusive, indecent, profane, or vulgar language which incites breach of peace, an offensive gesture in public which incites breach of peace, unreasonable noises in a public place or near private residences, generally over 85 decibels, fighting with another in a public place, abusing or threatening a person in a public place in an obviously offensive manner, discharging a firearm on or across a public road, exposing your anus or genitals in a public place and being reckless about offending or alarming another, looking through a window or opening in a public place in a hotel or restroom or shower stall or dressing room for a lewd purpose, and finally, the B misdemeanor offense of discharging or displaying a firearm in a manner calculated to cause alarm.